Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Limitless conversation with Q Fela. My name is Q Fela, your host for this podcast, and I am just giving you a warm welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're listening in on Spotify, Apple Podcast, hello, and thank you so much for tuning in again. Today, I have a lot of energy, and I'm so excited to be back. I'm shooting this so late. Usually, I shoot at night for the ambience. But today I'm just shooting a mini, guys, so that you guys can get this right away. So, yes, last week we spoke about waiting, and I want us to look at that. We spoke about waiting in your career, and you guys gave me some nice comments there relating to what I was talking about. Some people really enjoyed the episode because you appreciated the conversation altogether. So I really hope that you're encouraged, and I really hope that you're going to press on and just stay the course in your journey, in whatever your waiting season looks like, if you are experiencing that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and please do go and watch. If you are only joining us on this episode, please go and watch, because this is some kind of series. I'm gonna say it's a two-part series, because I don't know if there's anything else that I'm gonna add in the next episode. I don't think so, but I wanted to speak about waiting in ministry this week, like I said last week. And before I do that, I just remembered. I remembered that last year on the channel, someone did send me a message and asked me to speak about finding purpose. So I was like, okay, I won't do any justice to this episode if I speak about waiting in ministry without talking about that aspect, right? So I'm going to touch on that as well. But before that, I want to find out, how are you doing this week? How are you keeping up? Guys, we are literally in June, and for me, it was some kind of wake up call. I was like, oh my God. Month 6 of 12, literally, we are at the half of this year. And so, yeah, you start to, nerves start to kick in. You start to track your progress and see how far you've come throughout the year, and you get nervous about time. I don't know if you guys are experiencing this, but I am. I know I am. So yeah, please let me know how you are doing. And it is also cold. We are in winter. We are deep within winter. It is very cold. As you guys can see, I'm literally looking so warm because it is cold. So yeah, please let me know how you guys doing, how you finding the year, how you finding your progress. Are you getting overwhelmed? Please rest. Rest in the knowledge that God is ordering your steps, and keep doing your best. Keep putting in the work. If you're not moving as fast as you would have loved, I know I'm experiencing that. Please be very patient with yourself on that. Okay? Be very patient. Another thing that I want to remind you guys to please do is, please like the episode. Please comment if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and you're like, oh my God, I want to say something. Please come on YouTube and leave me a comment. The interactions are very encouraging, because I'm trying to also have us build a community together. You know what I mean? So I don't just want us to listen and then move on. I want you to be able to share your thoughts. If you have some wisdom on the topics we're talking about, go and leave a comment on YouTube, because someone else is going to come across that and it's going to help them. Even a year from now, it's going to help them. So I do want us to also build that community, or that brotherly, sisterly, love as well, so that, yeah, it's a community more than it's just, people coming in to listen and then move on with their lives. So yes. So please do leave a comment. Also, please rate on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please rate us. That is also very helpful. So please do the things, guys. And on social media, if you guys are following me on social media, please also like, comment, share, yeah, do the things, do the most. Please tag me if you guys have a comment or you just want to share how you've been finding the podcast. I know it's still early. I know it's early, but you know what? Some people are already finding these episodes very helpful. So I really want to hear that because it's encouraging to me as well. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, you can do the most there on social media as well. Just invite other people so that we grow our community. I'm looking forward to us reaching 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm also looking forward to us reaching 100 listeners on Apple and Spotify because we haven't been there yet because we're fairly new here, but on YouTube, I've been around. So yeah, let's do that. I believe we can do it. And, the more we grow, then the more opportunities for us to expand the work we're doing on this podcast, bring in guests, find venues, do all the things. I really am looking forward to what this can become for us. So, yes, I said that I want us to first look at purpose. I know that a lot of people will give you step by step things that you can do to find purpose, but I really want to simplify it. I've found that this journey, guys, for me, I've really appreciated just simplifying this journey, and it can get too much. So I'm not going to give you a step-by-step thing. I'm going to say that it's so much better when you are found by purpose rather than you like just searching and searching and searching. It is so much better. I know this may sound cliche or it may sound like, "Ugh, gosh, there they go again, simplifying these things." Okay, it's not that simple, I know, but it is so much better when you look at it that way, that purpose must find you. How does purpose find you? I'm going to assume that we are all Christian girls and guys on this podcast. If you're not, you might also understand this once you have, gotten in, join us, accept Christ, hit us up on that, and then you might understand this journey a little bit more when you are walking it than when you are looking in from the outside. So what I'm saying is, it has to find you. And how does it find you? What do you do for you to believe and hope that you are well positioned to be found by purpose? I would say that all you have to do is focus on growing your relationship with God. Grow your relationship with God. Try to get closer to the Lord. Try to strengthen these core things that you need as a believer, which would be talking to God, that's prayer, which would be reading the Bible, that too. And most importantly, I will really say fellowship, because some of these things are hard to establish solidly on your own. But if you are in fellowship, you're going to be very encouraged, and then you'll be able to establish a prayer life for yourself. And also you'll be able to start reading the word. The more it's taught at church, the more you go back and study that chapter, and then you start to understand the Bible that way. And the more your relationship with God grows, guys, I don't want to lie to you. Things that the world has to strategize, have step-by-step things about, you can easily navigate them. The more you start to hear the voice of the Lord, the clearer it becomes in your life. The Holy Spirit is a helper. Like, it's really true. The Holy Spirit is a helper. So don't underestimate that intense focus on growing a relationship with the Lord, because you will find yourself in purpose. And when I speak about ministry, I don't want other people to exclude themselves. And then ucinge bana ministry is about holding the mic at church, or going all over the world, the city, being invited left, right, and center. A lot of people like to, complicate it that way. But for me, ministry is that one thing that always finds you wherever you are at. I'll talk about myself. Ministering in music ministry, I started at church naturally, in a very natural way, where my mom had forced me to sing at church because the worshipers were not around that Sunday. And then Ulakaya, that's what she did. And for me, that's how it started. Then, I mean, abantu abadala at church, obviously, like, makangene worship team and help out, all those things. But besides that, guys, for me, it was really not a thing of me having to put in effort, but it's just that I noticed that wherever I'm placed, I went on. For instance, I served at my local church. I was at AOG at the time. I served at my local church for years because my parents were there as well. And then I left and I went to study in Johannesburg. And for me, then my relationship with God had been solid by then. And so even when I was in Joburg, I found that God was just using me in the area of music, of course, but also I started to hear the voice of God stronger in my life, and there were things that God would reveal to me concerning the church, concerning the people around me, like just random things like that. And so I started to realize that, okay, this is me really just working for the Lord in more areas than just one. And wherever I am, I just have found that God has a way of, revealing me to people, whether be it through the music ministry, whether be it through, things God would reveal to me about concerning other people, things like that. So all I'm trying to say is that you don't have to put in so much effort in calculating and trying to figure it out. But if you are well positioned in finding God, God will align you. God will get to show you the things that He has placed on the inside of you. If you can keep it as simple as that, I think that would be beneficial to you. So that has helped me a lot, like just keeping it simple like that. So yeah, now there's a thing where the more you grow to understand the things that God has placed in you, and the more you are using them for His glory, which would then be ministry altogether. You find that God at times reveals where you are headed. God reveals things that He is to do through you. It's just a beautiful thing, okay? It becomes a very beautiful thing, but it becomes very overwhelming to then get into an intense period of waiting on the Lord, because God has given you a vision, like the book of Habakkuk says. And then you're just like thinking it's going to unfold so effortlessly right away. Nje uzozibona uba I'm on this journey. I'm moving from glory to glory. Like things are just coming together, and it's just becoming the way that God had showed you. But then there's a process, like I said last week as well. There's a process in ministry as well. Though God has showed you destiny, though God has showed you ultimately what he wants to do through you, He tries, not he tries, sorry, He doesn't try. He takes you through a journey of building you up and preparing you for all those things. And that is the process of waiting. It doesn't just happen. It gradually happens. Sometimes God takes you on a journey that is very gradual. Like it unfolds so slowly. It's not necessarily slow, but it's just not in the way that you had been shown in your mind. It doesn't happen that way. So it is so important for you to learn how to be patient. Again, in this area, you need patience. It is a fruit of the Spirit that will, like, it will always be relevant for your journey. So even in ministry, I know I've faced disappointment, I've faced hurt. Oh guys, I've faced a lot of things that I never expected, because I think when we are surrounded by a community of believers, we kind of expect things to be smooth and perfect. But the truth is, we are all people at the end of the day who have shortcomings, who are, who fall short here and there. And so we fail each other, siyagilana, you know, we just end up hurting each other sometimes. And so things like that, I had never really thought they would happen within the journey of, being around other believers, but it has happened, unfortunately. And so those are the things that become hurts that you need to heal from. At times you don't understand why these things are happening, but then again, there's a process where later on you get to see what God was doing, but in that moment, you don't know, you don't understand uba kwenzeka ntoni, what's happening, but you're just really disappointed. So it is so important to be able to be patient, because you are going to feel like giving up. You will feel like giving up, especially when it comes to ministry. I think it can be so easy to shut it out and numb yourself from it and just try by all means not to care, and then live your best life pursuing a career and just blocking out the thing that God has said you also need to see through. And you will try and try and try, but that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Another thing for me is always just wanting to find out, what it could become altogether. And so for me, I always think, I'll always wonder if I don't see this through, if I don't persevere and just allow God to walk this journey with me, to write this story through me. I'll always wonder what could have become, And sometimes God will not stand in your way if you are forcefully shutting it out, but you are going to live with that gap and that emptiness in you, because there is an assignment you had to fulfill that you are not doing. So don't complicate it. Allow God to reveal this thing through you. And career career is also a career is also a part of ministry. I really believe it's an area that God uses people in as well, in the workplace, to reveal his goodness, his faithfulness, and his power to the people around you. So as a child of God, assignment is everywhere. So don't just box it to church. Assignment is all over, it's everywhere. And it is important for you to just always be alert. One of the things that I really want to create through this platform is that understanding for us as believers that everything that we do includes and involves God. He cannot be removed, whether it's your relationships. Like some people exclude God in their love lives, but you do need God in the area of your love life, because the person who understands love more than anyone else who can teach you is God. So you need the Lord in your relationships. Trust me, when you're married, you're going to need to learn how to love like Christ, especially as a man and a leader in your home. So don't ever try to think that God applies in this part of your life and the other part of your life doesn't need him. Every single thing that you do is meant to reveal Christ. And so be able to understand that you need the voice of the Lord. You need God's guidance in your career. You need God's guidance in your passions or whatever other things that you get to do on the side. You need God's guidance in your business. You need God's guidance in ministry. You need him in your relationships and your friendships. So in your family, you need God. So God is at the center of every single thing that we do as believers. So yeah, ministry has been that challenging journey, and finding out that I had to wait in ministry was shocking. I don't have answers to a lot of things. I don't have answers to a lot of things, but one thing about me, I will never miss an opportunity to exercise my trust in the Lord, because he does ask us in his word all the time to trust in him and not lean on our own understanding. So if you are trying to find out what God has in store for you and what God is trying to do with your life and what is the meaning of your life, you will find those answers in walking this journey with Him. Ezinye izinto He will not give you clarity on right away, and that's okay. Just be able to be patient with the journey and the story that God is writing through you. Okay? Yes. So I really hope that this encourages you, and just know that I speak from things that I know. Like, guys, I speak from things that I know. And another thing that I want to say before I go is that healing is at the center of a life of a believer. Like, understand that you've got to heal so that you are able to move on from things without, carrying those grudges, carrying the weight of the things that you've been through before. You're going to carry the lessons, but try your best not to carry the weight of the hurt and the damage that has been caused by certain things that you've encountered along the way. Some things are going to be birthed from your own mistakes in ministry, but God is also going to teach you. He has a way of working everything out for His good. And so, akaxakwanga bubomi bakho. So God is really not, you are not above his abilities, his control, his power. He can turn your story around to work for His perfect will. So don't stress, but your job is to remain in Him and to try your best to please Him in every single thing that you do. So I really hope that you're encouraged. This coming week, I'm going to finalize the free resource that I'm going to give you guys on waiting. I'm really excited for you guys to have that, because what I do want is for us to have something handy to walk away with that we can reference even in a year or 2 years from now from me in the things that we talk about. So remember, it's not permanent. It's a phase that God allows you to walk through and to go through, so that He teaches you lessons, so that you come up with character development for the things that He has called you for the things that He has meant for you to do. So it will all work together for your good. The book of Romans says, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. So be encouraged. Don't be too discouraged. And remember, we have platforms like these to talk about it, to vent about it, and to find a way forward. If I can answer your question in a way that you understand, someone else here in our community will definitely chip in the comments as well and share their own experience. So yeah, I look forward to your comments. I look forward to you guys sharing how you have found the journey of waiting in ministry related things or in your assignment. And how are you navigating purpose as well? Do you think that you could apply what I've mentioned in your own life if you're someone who's still trying to find purpose? Do you think that you can be able to apply this principle of pursue God and purpose will ultimately find you there? So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.